You know Larry Bird as the basketball legend, the three-time NBA champion, and the guy who made the Boston Celtics unstoppable in the 80s. But what if I told you there's a side to Larry Bird's story that nobody talks about? A side filled with struggles, sacrifices, and moments that could have ended his career before it even began? This isn't just about the trophies or the iconic moments on the court. This is about the man behind the legend. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll see Larry Bird in a whole new light. Let's start at the beginning. Larry Bird wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He grew up in French Lick, Indiana, a small town with big dreams. But life wasn't easy. His family struggled financially, and Larry often had to work odd jobs just to make ends meet. Basketball became his escape, his passion, and eventually his ticket out. But even then, nothing came easy. Did you know Larry almost quit basketball entirely during college? He felt so out of place at Indiana University that he dropped out after just a month. He went back home, worked as a garbage collector, and even considered giving up on the sport altogether. Can you imagine the NBA without Larry Bird? It almost happened. But here's where things get interesting. Larry didn't stay down for long. He enrolled at Indiana State University, and that's where his career truly began to take off. He led the Sycamores to the NCAA championship game in 1979, facing off against Magic Johnson in what would become one of the most iconic rivalries in sports history. That game wasn't just about basketball, it was the start of a legacy. Larry's fierce competitiveness and unmatched skills caught the attention of the NBA, and the Boston Celtics drafted him in 1978. But even then, his journey was far from smooth. When Larry joined the Celtics, he immediately faced pressure to perform. The team was struggling, and fans were desperate for a hero. Larry didn't just meet those expectations, he shattered them. In his rookie season, he transformed the Celtics from a 29-win team to a 61-win powerhouse. It was clear that Larry Bird wasn't just a player, he was a game changer. But with greatness came challenges. Larry's relentless work ethic and drive to win often pushed him to his limits. He played through injuries, ignored pain, and sacrificed his body for the game. There were moments when his back pain was so severe that he could barely walk, let alone play. Yet, he kept going. Why? Because for Larry, basketball wasn't just a sport. It was everything. Now let's talk about the dark side of his career. While Larry's achievements on the court are legendary, his personal life wasn't always as picture perfect. His intense focus on basketball sometimes came at the expense of his relationships and health. He was known for being tough on his teammates, pushing them to their limits, and even isolating himself at times. And then there were the injuries. Back problems plagued him throughout his career, and by the time he retired in 1992, he was a shadow of the player he once was. But here's the thing. Larry never complained. He never made excuses. He simply gave everything he had, every single time. So, what's the real story behind Larry Bird's legendary career? It's not just about the championships, the MVP awards, or the unforgettable moments. It's about resilience. It's about a guy who came from nothing, faced countless obstacles, and still managed to become one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Larry Bird's story is a reminder that even legends have their struggles, and it's those struggles that make their success so inspiring. But here's a question for you. Do you think Larry Bird's career would have been even greater if he hadn't dealt with so many injuries? Or was it those challenges that made him the player we remember today? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. And that's the untold story of Larry Bird. A story of triumph, sacrifice, and the dark side of greatness. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more untold stories about your favorite legends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.